And welcome to Sports Highlights on the Road, our September edition. Back to school. Glad you're with us. Greg Bicoveris. Sports Highlights airs on Mondays at 7, 2, and 7. Weekends at 9 a.m. on traditional Cox Cable 47, 517. Always online at nnpstv.com and YouTube. We're here at the Hampton BMX Park in Hampton, Virginia, talking to David McDonald, the president. Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you, Greg.
Since 1979, that's a long time.
It is. We've been a staple here in Hampton since then. BMX in general has been around since early 70s. It's a phenomenal family sport. Everybody's involved. We have parents that race. We've got children as young as 2 years old to adults as 74 years old that actually race here with us.
First of all, it's great fitness as well to do this.
Absolutely is. You get out of it what you put into it, and it's very energetic. We've got a lot of people that use this as part of their exercise routine.
Yeah, absolutely. And kids can start at a young age. Let's talk about leagues, tournaments, and so forth.
Okay, we have, we just had a great race this weekend. It was Tyler's Ride. It was a great event. We had a lot of racers here for that, and it was a nonprofit event. But we have the cadence in the background. We have people that come from all over Virginia, Carolina, Maryland that come here. We're one of the 5 tracks here in Virginia, but we're the only one in the Hampton Roads area. We were a pilot program for the Virginia BMX League a few years ago, which was a league to try to bring in new recruits into BMX. It was a very successful program we had. This year we haven't done that because of the COVID, coming off the COVID restrictions. So hopefully next year we'll get back into it again. Once everything's released, we'll go back to normal.
Absolutely. And what's the professional side of this? Because I know there's professionals that do this for a living.
There's actually, a lot of people don't understand it, but this is actually an Olympic sport. We just had the Olympics, and we had people here at this track that have actually raced in the Olympics. They've come here and done clinics for us. And we've got there's a lot of people that they do this professionally. They have sponsorships. They really good at riding, and they've put themselves out there as a marketing tool, and they're good for their agents that want to sponsor them. But you got the Olympics. Now you have the X Games, of course. You also have mountain biking, which is it's all an integrated part of cycling.
Yeah, we're talking to David McDonald. He's the president of the Hampton BMX right here on the water. You can't beat this scenery either.
Man, everybody that comes here gives me a compliment and says this is the best location for a BMX track, because we're surrounded just about halfway with water, and it's beautiful right here, located right off of Langley Air Force Base. We get the beautiful jets flying in and out, and it's phenomenal sight.
And you really don't have any distractions of, cars driving by.
Right.
They've got this island to themselves.
Yeah, we're back here. The neighbors, they're far enough away, they don't hear us. We race at night, so in the summer, because it's so hot. And then in the wintertime, we race during the day because it's a little bit cooler. But yeah, we kind of like it back here. It keeps us isolated from the traffic area, that's for sure.
Well, we're in September right now. During the summer, you're a little bit more busier during the week, but
Yep.
Saturdays primarily in the fall.
Saturdays, yeah, definitely Saturday. We're packed. We have lots of motives. We've got lots of riders here. This place is hopping. We have vendors that come and set up. We have ice cream vendors. We have pizza vendors that come in. We've got bike shops that come and set up tents. It's a phenomenal event.
Let's give us a start and stop time on Saturdays. What's the day? What's race day like?
Okay, race day here. During the summertime, we race at nighttime. So we like to get here. Registration starts at 6 o'clock on a Saturday till 7:30, and then we start racing about around 7:30. We're usually wrapped up around 9, but we got lights, so it's great. During the wintertime, when it's much cooler, we like to start racing around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we kind of rotate our schedule around to beat the heat.
Yeah, and of course it gets dark earlier in the fall too as well.
Mm-hmm.
But this seems like there's something for everyone, that kids and parents can both be involved.
Absolutely, it's phenomenal. We have lots of kids and their parents all race, and it's a big family event. They all have matching jerseys. It's really cool. But there's something for everybody, and they actually travel around to different tracks and try it out. I'm all about everybody being involved. So if you want to come out, the first race is always free, and if you wanted to try it out, it's a good opportunity to do that.
What is the cost?
Normally there's a membership fee. Once you entered into it and you want to do it, you pay a membership fee to USA BMX, and it's around $60 a year. But that allows you to race at any track in the United States or in Canada.
Right.
But then you got to pay the track per race, and our race fee is $11 per race, but that's pretty nominal throughout the industry.
Now you talk about skateboarding's popular, and people see these hills, and skateboarding's popular too. But will we see a future Evel Knievel out here? Maybe
we've got some guys out here that like to they do some big tricks, and sometimes unfortunately they'll crash, but they get back up and do it again. So you never know. A lot of guys watch the X Games and see what these guys are doing, and they try to mimic it.
They get grandiose ideas, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What about insurance for parents are going to ask?
Okay, we actually, through USA BMX, being a member, there is insurance. There's insurance that's involved with it, and that's part of the fee. But there's also supplemental insurance. It's called spot insurance. It's very inexpensive. I think it's $8 a month, and it covers anything that your insurance doesn't cover.
Right. Talk about the types of bikes that we're seeing out here today.
Our bikes are not your run-of-the-mill bikes. Our bikes are made out of aluminum. They're lightweight. Some of them are carbon fiber. You can buy them used. You can buy them new. They cost from $100 to a couple grand. But we have over 50 bikes available to loan to people who don't have a bike that's for racing.
That's really nice.
So we have helmets and race bikes, so everybody can get involved. So if you don't have a bike, that's not a reason not to come out. We've got something for you.
And you got helmets too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and what about knee pads and all that stuff?
Yeah, if you wear long pants and a long sleeve shirt, you're fine. If not, you got to wear knee pads and elbow pads.
Right. So the first thing a kid watching would need to learn how to ride a bike.
Absolutely.
And then kind of go from there, right?
Yes. And we do have clinics too. For the people that know how to ride a bike but want to learn how to race, we have a beginner's program, which we just wrapped it up a couple of weeks ago. It's a 5-week program, and it's $85. It includes a 1-year membership fee, and it also has 5 free lessons and 5 free races.
Yeah.
And it's one-on-one coaching with our coach that we have here on staff that works with them to show them how to get out of the gate, how to pedal, and how to take the berms. And it's a great program.
Right. We're talking to David McDonald. He's the president of the Hampton BMX right here on the water. It's really nice here in Hampton. People are going to fall down. That's natural.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. People do fall down with any sport. You're gonna have your bumps and bruises. We encourage them to get back up and ride it off. We'll check them out and make sure that there's no bones sticking out. And a lot of times they get back up and they ride it off. And I'll tell everybody to cheer them on. It encourages them to finish the lap because, of course you're going to fall down. It's not about falling down. It's about getting back up on that bike.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all fell off a
course.
bike.
I fall walking. It's a nice mixture of cement, dirt, and grass out here.
Yes. Yeah.
Talk about it.
We mix it. The dirt is a special blend. It's clay and sand. It's a 70-30 mixture. It's packed down really tight. We spend about 2,000 hours a year working the track because of the rain. And so we try to get it right.
Yeah, absolutely. And how long is the course?
It's right about a quarter mile.
So definitely you need endurance. You need to be in shape.
Absolutely.
And when you're wearing that type of uniform, you definitely burn off calories.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well,
yeah, the kids out here are awesome, and you got to have a full face helmet. So that it's a lot of stuff there that's involved.
Right, and of course you guys are nonprofit.
Absolutely, we are nonprofit.
You of course are doing the best you can. And what advice would you give to somebody that's never done this before for a kid and an adult?
Man, come on out and watch and see it. If you got any questions, you can ask any volunteer that's here, and we'll be glad to answer any questions you have. And we'll put you on a bike and let you try it for free for the first time.
Very good, very good. You got lights out here too.
Absolutely. Yeah, we love racing under the lights. That's one of our good features we have.
Now, during the school years, primarily Peninsula South Side, you get some people from Richmond coming too?
We do get some people from Richmond coming, especially during a bigger event.
Right.
But normally we have our local people in Hampton Roads.
And this is convenient to anybody in Hampton Roads.
Absolutely is.
Yes. So there you go, folks. That is David McDonald. He's the president of Hampton BMX. And what do you see the future of this sport growing here locally and regionally?
Man, this sport has been growing like crazy. I think COVID last year kept a lot of people cooped up. We have seen record number turnouts at all our events lately. And even all the national events across the country have been phenomenal turnouts. And I just see it keep growing because people want to get out and they get fitness. I mean, fitness is good for you.
And this is great because really, you're definitely 6 feet apart.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And this can beat COVID out here. You know?
And with your helmet on, you do have protection.
Right.
And I mean, we're not, that's one of the rules. If you're standing side by side, you're wearing a helmet, you're pretty good.
Very good. All right, that's our first segment right there from the Hampton BMX Park in Hampton, Virginia. Greg Bickaveris along with our entire crew talking to Dave McDonald. We'll be talking to S.P. Smith coming up after these messages.
Ultimate Frisbee is a team sport in which players seek to score points by passing a Frisbee to a teammate over the opposing team's goal line. For more information, contact your local recreation center.
You're watching NNPS TV. Catch sports highlights on Mondays at 7, 2, and 7, and on Saturdays and Sundays at 9 a.m. Visit us online at nnpstv.com to view all your favorite episodes. NNPS TV, watching education happen.
And welcome to our second segment of our September edition of Sports Highlights on the Road. Of course, out here with our crew, Ray and Elijah. We just heard from David McDonald, the president of the Hampton BMX, now the vice president of the Hampton BMX, S.B. Smith. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Greg. Great to see you again, always.
Thank you. It always is personal because you have two of your sons out here.
I do, yes. Hurley is 8, getting ready to turn 9 in October, and William is 6, getting ready to turn 7 in October. They both ride intermediate. Hurley's right now is away at camp in Woodward, Pennsylvania. They do a huge BMX camp. There's a lot of other stuff too, but so he's gone for the week, and Will's out here practicing today with all the other kids.
Right. Now, did you see them when they were kids saying, hey, Mom, you know what? I need a little bit more than just riding a bike. That's not cutting it. How did they develop that interest?
Well, funny you should ask, actually, because I was talking about this the other day. My kids never use training wheels, and I think that's the best part about out here. There's a smaller Strider track out here as well, where the kids use the balance bikes, and it actually helps them ride bikes quicker, faster, turning corners and stuff like that, because they use their Flintstone feet as their pedal power, and then once they get on, you know, it's kind of the same motion. So my kids were 3 and racing on pedals.
Wow. So you saw a talent early on. You can sense something's different with these kids.
Well, they just like to have fun and be on bikes, for
Right.
sure.
Right.
It definitely gives them a sense of a goal. You know, there's a finish line, and go faster, chase people down, or try to be the fastest.
Well, talk about some of the kids, boys and girls out here. I know it's predominantly a lot of guys, but there are some girls too.
Well, we have girl riders from 2 all the way up to, we have a couple moms out here that race. So yeah, we have kids anywhere. I mean, really, our kids are 2 years old, like a year and a half, all the way up. We have a 74-year-old guy that's racing with us.
Out here on the hills?
Here on the hills,
Wow.
yep. We have, we do 3 different levels. So it's beginner, intermediate, and expert. So, they win a few races, beginner, or novice, then they move up to intermediate, and they win however many races is necessary. I think it's 20 in a year, and then they move up to expert. So there's every race that we have, it's all the different levels, race, in their different age groups and whatnot. So it's, it's good equal competition when they're out here.
Right. We're talking to S.B. Smith. She's the vice president of the Hampton BMX. Sports Highlights on the Road in September. You do a lot of behind the scenes before and after social media posting.
Yes.
So you're busier not just on race day.
Absolutely. There's a lot of stuff. We need a lot of volunteers that help us out. It's not just David, the president. It's not just me, the vice president. We have a full board. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And we're always looking for volunteers. We have, we're concessions. We have anything to keep the race going. We need volunteers that help with scoring, announcers, gate workers for staging, corner marshals. So, people that help with behind the scenes. A couple guys on our board help with the social media aspect of it and everything. So, it's definitely, we always need help. We always need help.
Yeah, it's all inclusive for kids who want to race and also parents.
Yep, absolutely. Parents can race, they can volunteer. Kids can race, they can volunteer. You know, I mean, we have a job for anyone.
Yeah, and you're a local girl. You graduated from what school?
I graduated from Tab High School.
Very nice. Well, talk about that. Do you race at all?
I did until, yes, I did. And then I fell and I separated my AC joint. So I have retired from the track.
Racing.
But of course, I'm, doing everything I can to make sure my boys have a future in racing and have something that they like to do. I was a gymnast growing up, and
Right.
so, I like the aspect, the individual, and part of a team, and that's what you get with BMX as well. You can shine individually, but your team can also shine together.
And that's a great idea too, because let's say there's brothers and sisters out there. The one might not race, but the other one can cheer on the other one,
Absolutely.
correct?
We definitely have a couple of families like that. We have families where all the siblings race. I think you're going to talk to Kenzie next, part of the Cafferty crew. But yeah, we do have a couple of racers. Their siblings, actually, Mr. David's daughter, Kaylee, she used to race, but now she helps out behind the scenes. But Dawson still races. So yeah, absolutely.
Really? And where are some of the other places that you've taken your kids personally to race around the state?
Around the state, so there are 5 other state tracks. And so part of our state qualifier racing, so there's 5 state qualifier races which go into a state championship race at the end. So there's Winchester, there's Nova, which is in Woodbridge, there is Richmond, and then there's VMP. VMP's in Dinwiddie, which is pretty close to Richmond as well, and then there's us. So those are the 5 tracks. We've definitely traveled to all of those 5 tracks. There's a bunch also locally, well, not really locally, but in bordering states that a lot of our local guys will go and travel. Ohio, Pennsylvania, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina. So yeah, I mean, within like 10 hours, people are pretty willing to travel
Right.
around.
I mean, this is not flat terrain by no way. This is definitely a lot of obstacle courses out here, and you have to be really coordinated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It teaches you how to be coordinated too. They definitely don't start coordinated when they're on the Strider track. They're bumbling around, falling, and then even when they graduate up to the big track, kids can still take bikes that they're comfortable on, like their regular bikes, and they can get a feel for the big track before they move up to their actual racing bikes. So we definitely give kids an opportunity to learn things and get better before we just throw them out and say good luck.
Right, and you're a full-time mom, so you're definitely multitasking
I'm doing my
every
best.
day, right? It's easier for once the weekends during the regular school year, because during the summer, it's pretty much a lot during the week.
It's a lot during the week. We do Summer Sizzler racing on Tuesday nights, and then on Thursdays we have our beginner clinics, and then on Saturdays we race. And if we're not racing, it's only because there's a state championship race or a state
Sure.
qualifier race going on. So
And of course, heavy rain, I guess.
oh
too.
yeah, well yeah, we definitely we can't race in the rain.
Right. What is the do's and don'ts for a beginner? Would you recommend?
Do have fun. I mean, that's
Yeah,
definitely
of course. Yeah. Smile a little bit, yeah.
smile, have
Yeah.
fun. Just respect the place
Right.
where you are, being aware of your presence on the track, and, just making sure you're out here to be a part of the family and, just have a good time.
Yeah, sportsmanship's important. How many bikers are out here at a certain time together under competition?
On any given Tuesday night, which is probably when we have the least amount of riders, we have about 12 motos, and in a moto you have to have at least 3 riders to race, so 12 times 3, that's 36 kids out here definitely on any given, that's just a Tuesday night or more, and then of course all the parents and everything. So we have 100 to 200 people on any given Tuesday, Thursday. Our Saturdays are like 250 to 500 people.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean we have a great family. We've got a great place for everyone to come together. So we're always just trying to do things together too. The board is trying to make the track better. We're working on things to just generate help and revenue, and just getting the track in. We want to be the best track in Virginia again.
There you go. How about the Facebook page? What is it?
Yep, Facebook page, it's Hampton BMX, and then there's also HamptonBMX.com. That's part of the USA BMX. It's a little bit harder to navigate, but definitely if you have any questions, reach out to us on Facebook, email us. We can definitely guide you in the right way. Anytime anybody new who wants to come out here, make sure you come up to the registration, introduce yourself. We'll show you around. We'll get you set up. If you don't have a bike, we have bikes for rent, helmets for you, or not for rent, sorry, bikes for just to use, helmets, extra jerseys. We have a lot just for anybody who wants to try it and just to get to learn it.
All right, SB, have a great September.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you for that informative interview right there with the Hampton BMX. We'll be talking to a young lady after this who's an actual rider. Stay tuned.
I want to be a historian.
I want to be a marine scientist.
I want to be an oceanographer.
I want to be an astronaut.
I want to be a zoologist.
I want to be an engineer.
Virginia is rich in educational resources.
Virginia is for.
Virginia is for.
Virginia is for.
Virginia is for.
Virginia's for learners.
All right, welcome to our third segment of Sports Highlights on the Road here from the beautiful Hampton BMX Park. Hope you enjoyed our first two interviews. Now we're on our Kids Are People 2 segment, talking to Kenzie Cafferty. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
How long have you been bike riding?
This is my 4th year. I started when I was 6, and then about a week after I started, I turned 7.
When you first started riding your bike, I assume it was in Virginia Beach. Where did you ride your bike at?
Well, I kind of just rode at home sometimes, and then we found out about Hampton BMX and just came out here sometimes.
Right, this is a family sport. Your brothers ride their bikes too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Let's talk about the favorite part of your competition. What do you enjoy the most?
Just having fun. It's just I just like to be out here. Just competition, fun stuff, yeah.
Yeah, does this kind of competition make you more competitive during the school year, that you want to get the best grades you can? Does sports kind of help you in everything?
Kind of. It really helps me in soccer, because I play travel soccer. It really helps me be aggressive, and yeah.
Well, that is good. We're talking to our Kenzie right here, Cafferty. She is going into what grade?
6th.
6th grade, and you're in Virginia Beach. And of course, what do you like about this track out here the most? Do you like the grass part? Do you like the dirt? Do you like the cement? What's the toughest challenge?
I mostly like the turns because they're very smooth. Some tracks don't have the smoothest turns, but yeah, I mostly like the turns.
Do you like to see more girls out here racing too? Yeah. And what is the most, you said you like the competition.
Yeah.
What is it like for you right before a race? What are you thinking about?
Well, you have to I kind of get nervous sometimes because you don't know, some girls, you don't know how fast they are, how strong they are and stuff. So you get a little nervous, but you don't want to keep that in your head during the race.
Right. Do you race against girls and boys, or just girls?
So mostly at local tracks like our Hampton BMX track, I usually race against boys, but at national events I race against girls.
How do you try to improve when you're not here on competition? Do you practice on your own?
At home we have our own little gate, and we have rollers which help me practice so I can get faster and stronger.
Talking to an amazing young girl here, Kenzie Cafferty, give us advice on how to race on competition. Her mom and dad are very involved as well. And you talk about your bike. Let's talk about what type of bike you have, and what do you enjoy about it the most?
I have a standard. I ride, all of my brothers and I ride standards, and yeah.
It's comfortable, right?
Yeah, it's very comfortable.
And it's got your name on the bike too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this girl's proud of who she is. I like the confidence in her as well. And what advice would you give to other kids that have never done this before, that are still on training wheels, that want to ride their bike out here?
Just go ahead and try it, and if you don't like it, it's okay. You don't have to do it, but just try it at least to see if you like it or not.
And don't get distracted. If you fall down, just get back up, right?
Yeah.
Very good. What's your favorite track that you've ever been on before?
That's hard because I've been to a lot of national tracks, but I'll probably have to say Rock Hill.
Okay, very nice. And you also play soccer. What position do you play in soccer?
Mostly defense, but I also play midfield.
Very nice. All right. Well, very multi-purpose athlete here. She plays soccer. She rides her bike. She does the Hampton BMX. And I guess the more you do it, the better you feel, the more confident you get. So it does take repetition.
Yeah.
What about your brothers? Do you ever race against them?
So I race cruiser and class, and I sometimes have to race my brothers in cruiser out here, which is hard, but it like helps me get faster racing them.
Do you ever beat them, or they beat you? Or
Sometimes I beat them, but mostly they beat me.
all right, you're going to beat them one day more often, of course. This is really a nice track too. Do you prefer racing during the daytime or the nighttime?
Mostly during the nighttime, just because it's fun and there's lights, so we get to like race under the lights and stuff. Yeah.
What is the most surprising thing for somebody that's never raced out here before? What should they expect? What turn sometimes can be the most difficult?
I don't really know.
Yeah, but you have to be coordinated.
Yeah.
And you said you started riding your bike when you were a very young girl. And you still are a young girl, by the way, too. All right, very good. So thanks again for coming out here today, and give us some advice one more time that for young and old both, because there's some older people old enough to be your grandfather out here racing. What would you tell them?
Just, again, go ahead and try it. If you don't like it, it's okay. Just like try it, and yeah.
Yeah, or play soccer if you don't work out here, right? Okay. All right, that's the Hampton BMX. That's Kenzie Cafferty. Kids are people too. Wonderful young girl right here, showing you that all ages really do compete out here in the fresh outdoors here in beautiful Hampton, Virginia. Hope you enjoyed all three of our guests today in our September edition of Sports Highlights on the Road. David McDonald, SB Smith, and right there with her name on it, Kenzie Cafferty as well. So for Elijah Price and Ray Price, I'm Greg Bicaveras. We'll talk to you soon.